What is this? Another day, another woman. I'm tired, chat. Alright, what is this? Little 30-second clip of women. I'm ready. No man wants to raise another man's child and be the cleanup guy. Pass.
This comment right here. I really don't think that he's speaking for all men.
Instantly!
Because I know that there will be somebody that steps up one day, to be some sort of father figure for my child.
Jesus, dude. He's speaking for me. I raised 2 stepkids. Never again. Ever.
And it's also very, like, I'm very surprised that you felt comfortable actually typing this out and commenting on someone's video. This comment.
Was that the Single Thought song? Now you single thought song. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. That's actually kind of a banger. The beat's on point. Anyway, let's break down what's actually happening here. Huh? What you talking about? Because neither the girl or the commenters are actually arguing about there being a man that would take care of another man's kids, because obviously there is. There is, of course, at least one man. There's probably many men in a world of, what is it now, 9 billion? No, I think it's like 8 or 7. Whatever, I think it's 8 billion people that would be willing to raise another man's kid. That's not what they're fighting about. What they're actually fighting about is the notion that it is a normal and unproblematic thing to do. To willingly jump into a relationship with a girl who already has a kid. And to take care of that kid that isn't yours. Because ultimately, you will find men that will be willing to do this. But it is maybe 10% of the dating pool, and I think that's generous. And you limit the amount of men that will be interested in you in the dating pool itself. It's just the way it is. She's trying to pretend like that's not the case. Again, you have to think about how it may be true that you will find a person that will be willing to raise your kids. That's fine, I understand that. But the majority aren't. I don't like kids. I wouldn't date a guy with a kid because that's not what I want. Yes, and that's totally valid. It sucks. It's not your child. Hi, Billy Mays here, selling you a waifu cup, only available for 2 weeks. Okay, cut the camera. Cut the camera! Don't forget to click the link in the video description below. Don't miss out. The kids are blameless, but men will want their own too? Yes, of course. It goes the same for females, by the way. There's not a lot of women who want to raise another man's child. Women are more likely to do that. Single men, single women. It's hard. No, it is hard. I totally get that sometimes circumstances are out of your, out of your control. Things happen. Sometimes it's also like, what if you got widowed? Like, you don't know that. Again, chat, the problem is not that women have babies and it doesn't work out with the dad and they need to find a new partner. Like, that's it's like a walk of life, like a rite of passage that can happen to someone. It happens. The problem is trying to gaslight men into believing that they're a bad person or a horrible person if they're not willing to look past the child that you already have. I don't think this comment on, like, these comments in her videos or all the comments agreeing with the guy would exist if there wasn't an active cultural push from social media trying to convince men that, like, the numerous fallacies of being a single mother or having a high body count shouldn't matter. And if it does, then there's something wrong with you. Having a stepkid could be okay depending on the situation, but raising a child that you thought was yours turned out to be someone who make any man go apeshit. No. We're not even talking about that. Let's dial it back. That is not what I'm saying. This is specifically like the woman is open. She's in a dating relationship and she has a child and you are dating her. We're not even talking about like the whole cheating, like maybe you're raising another kid's child. It's like, that's like another thing. That's like a really drastically different thing. Yeah. Men having their own tastes and standards is frowned upon by women nowadays. The double standards are insane. Yeah, it's really cringe because I've also heard things like, oh, well, you only date Asian girls, so you're racist. But if a woman has a preference for like, oh, I don't know, Latin men, it's not the same. It's like, oh, you go, girl, sass. You know, like, fucking snapping their fingers and shit. They're like, yes, queen! And it's like, but you're not allowed to have preferences? Like, you're... Hello? Yeah, like, it's a weird thing. Chat! I know, this is gonna give me some shit. Chat, I wish the best for this girl. I don't know what happened to her for her to end up, like, being a single mom. What if her husband died or something? Like I said, like the widower aspect. You never know the full story. As I've said numerous times in the past, multiple things can be true at once. Men can have the valid opinion that they're tired of being told that they're inherently evil for having a preference. And women can sometimes end up being single mothers because of faults that aren't their own. I know, crazy thought. Devil's advocate. And you know how you find out which one it is? You stop posting on social media and go on a date. I know. Brain blast. Yeah. I don't think it's that deep. Genuinely. I know we like to do the whole like, oh, yeah, women bad, but like, at the end of the day, this can also happen to men as well. You could lose a woman, the love of your life, to like some horrendous accident. It does happen. It's not super common, but like maybe to cancer or like a car crash, and then you're left with 2 kids and nobody wants to date you. Maybe there's not that many women that want to date you. Yeah, Keanu Reeves, exactly. Oh my gosh, that is such a sad story. But like, you get my point. It does happen. Don't women like single dads? No. No, because they feel like, again, this is why I hate the double standard. Like, if a woman says, I don't want to date a man with a child that is not literally my flesh and blood, and I don't want to put in... I know that I won't be able to provide the love and the understanding and the care and the, what's the word? Like, understanding, I guess? Like, it's okay, but for some reason for men, it's like pushed back. It's like, you're a weak man if you don't date me and I have a child. It's like, no, baby, you don't want to fuck up a kid? Like... What if it's because you don't want to fuck up a kid? You know that you would have a growing resentment and be reminded that this child isn't your flesh and blood. Like, it goes both ways. Yeah. Single dad, single mom equals happy family? I mean, sometimes. Chat, you're allowed to have a preference. You're allowed to see a girl that already has a kid and go like, oh, yeah, maybe this isn't for me. No, that's not for me. And it doesn't make you any less of a man. Or whatever. It is a lot of drama. It is a lot to deal with. And another thing, it's also okay to give it a shot with a girl that has a kid. Get a month in and then go, oh, hell no, and then back out. I don't know. It's not that big a deal. I'm sorry. Like, I'd rather... I wouldn't want to deal with that. Yeah, how involved is the baby daddy? How, do you get along with the kid? What's the parenting dynamic? Yeah. And also, you're gonna learn a lot of shit in the first month. Not only about the girl, but also about her situation. How involved are they? Blah, blah, blah. I've heard tons of horror stories where, like, the stepdad has absolutely zero say in, like, reprimanding the kid if they act out, or having no say in how they're raised. You're allowed to have preference, Chad. It is very valid. You're also allowed to back out if it's too much. It doesn't make you a bad person. If anything, you're a better person for taking the pain of maybe not going through with the relationship than fucking up the kid or whatever. That's a Kyle in the making. Yes, exactly. Oh my god, Kyle. The old "you're not my dad" as well. Oh my gosh. Imagine, dude. I had a friend who had a really nice stepdad, and he never went over bounds, but granted, they didn't, like, grow up together. I think they were together, well, not together, but, like, they got together officially when she was 14, and that stepdad was awesome. She fucking lucked out. I've heard some horror stories. Yeah. How old is the kid? You could potentially become a father if the kid is young enough. Yeah. Also, if you're old enough. Like, if your mom or dad got divorced and you managed to bag a nice stepmom or stepdad and you're old enough, you can just be really good friends and it's not awkward because you're not, like, needing to get parented, if anything. You could just make a friend. It's not that deep. Maybe you're like 30 and your mom's like, I'm getting a divorce because blah, blah, blah. Or, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the circumstances could possibly be. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have nice step-parents, it's probably really nice. I would hope that everybody does get a nice step-parent. But that's also not realistic because people are fucking assholes. My friend calls her stepdad her dad because he's such a good father figure to her. Oh my god, that reminds me of a really wholesome Reddit post. I know, cringe Reddit moment. There was a guy that said that when she raised the daughter from, like, age 6 to, like, you know, up to, like, 18, and then one day when she was, like, 20 years old, she sat down and was like, the first time she ever called him dad instead of, you know, stepdad or something, he was like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. I'm a grown man and I'm a macho man and I'm gonna cry. Yeah, like, actually, it's so wholesome, and that does happen. I think that's very sweet. Again, I hope the best for everyone. I'm not, like, a miserable person like that. That's very sweet. More people fail than you'd expect. Yes, of course. No one's perfect, and unfortunately, the world is not perfect. She called me dad! Men crying. Aww. I don't want men to cry, like, bad. If it's a good cry, then I'm happy. A good little suck. He's speaking for me. The first comment kills me, man. Where is it? Yeah, this freaking one. He's speaking for me. I was 2 stepkids. Never again. Ever. Yikers. Yikes! No. Adoption papers for birthday presents gets me every time. Oh my gosh, dude. I've seen those too on TikTok and stuff. Hey there, my boy. I'm porking your mom. I saw her at the grocery store, and oh boy, that sundrift was moving all types of ways. Had me sweating. Oh, sorry. Why, ma'am? Why? I'm 28, bro. Stop. Why are you like this? Why are you gonna turn a wholesome fucking... I don't know, man. I'm 28 years old. Please stop. Chatter, did you just admit that you are 28? You old ass bitch. Anyway, be kind to each other, be more understanding, but also be cautious. Some bitches, they ain't worth it.